The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Is a ProductionofDallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys!
This is Cowboys Storyline, presented by Gillette, the official shave of the Dallas Cowboys. Here's Nick Eatman.
What's up? Welcome to Cowboys Storyline. I'm Nick Eatman. It's Monday, September 22nd. The sun hasn't come out because it's raining, but it probably will, at least in some parts of the world. Tough one, for sure. I don't have to tell you guys that. You lived through it. You lived through it for a while now. 31-14, Bears beat the Cowboys. That was a wild game, especially because, well, not wild like last week's wild, but just wild because I don't know if anyone saw that one coming. I know nobody on this show saw it coming because I write down the scores. I didn't write that one down. Bears, it was tough going there. Peyton Manning joined the Bears, it seems like yesterday, and that's what it looked like because Caleb Williams, they made him out to be a star, just like they made out the same with Russell Wilson the week before that. This defense is a huge problem right now. We know that. Everyone can see it. I personally think it's the pass rush. If you've read my column where I said there's one problem here, one major problem, and it's the pass rush. Now, the secondary obviously is an issue, but I really believe that if you fix what's going on up front, it changes a lot, and I think that's where it all stems from. But we can talk more. I want to hear from you guys. I've been able to. I've talked about it on the radio. I've had my column and all that, so I want to hear what you guys have to say. 888-855-2297. Let's go to Michael, Colton, California.
What's going on, everybody? Good morning. Hey, it's crazy, Nick, because it seems like, man, we you know how, like, in order for everything to go right, in order for a team to be good, everything has to fire off on all cylinders, all parts of the game, defense, offense, special teams. You know what I mean? But it's like, man, we can't seem to figure out the gel and get everything going. But I want to get your opinion. What would you do if you were front office? If this was your job right here to fix, what would you do? What would be some moves you would make, and what positions would you address? I know you probably can't get into specifics of names and all that, but I just want to hear what you would do.
Thanks, Michael. Well, I feel like when it's in the off season, when it's March, April, May, I mean, we're dying for football, right? You can't get here soon enough. Like, when is training camp? When's the season start? All this stuff. So now that it's here and you're 3 games into it, you're like, I'm not one to just say, all right, well, let's just give up on things and all that. Now, you have to be smart about the moves you make. Don't go out there and trade one of your number 1 picks for a guy that may not be here next year. You just traded Micah Parsons to get one of those. Let's don't turn back around and trade it, and overpay for somebody. But, if there's a situation, and remember the Mari Cooper situation, he was 24 years old. And it was like, we'll sign him and we'll have him for a little bit. So if you're going to make a move for anybody, make sure it's a player that's a young player that maybe it's not happy where he wants to be, and they don't think they're going to sign him, so they're going to get rid of him. But if you're going to get some help, it's got to be an impact player that you're going to keep down the road. So those guys don't grow on trees, but I would do my best to find some kind of help in the defensive line, in the pass rush. I feel like you're going to get some help at corner. I know Bland will be back. They didn't put him on IR, so it's I would think he could miss this game, but if he was going to miss 4 games, then they should have put him on IR, and so they haven't done that. I'd like to think he has a shot. We'll see what's going on with CD. But I have a feel the next caller here is going to talk about that. Brian in Kansas City. What's up, Brian?
Good morning, sir.
How are you?
Man, that thing was a dumpster fire. Holy cow. I mean, that was like watching a train wreck in slow motion. That was just dumbfounding. I read your article last night, and I kind of agree. I think if I was going to make a change now, I think the thing I want to change is I want Houston and Clowney as my starting defensive ends next week. The guys, the other guys have all had a chance and have all proven they can't do it.
Yeah.
And I wanted, I'm not saying go out and get somebody else because Clowney hadn't made it to the field yet.
Right.
Houston seems like the best option. So the thing that's a little bit shocking is that Dante Fowler had 10.5 sacks playing opposite Dorrance Armstrong last year.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got nothing this year. I mean, zero. So that, and everybody else, like you said in your article, you would have thought somebody would somebody would come out and be competent. And we just didn't have that. And then, the other thing on offense, that was probably more surprising to me that the offense couldn't get things going. And once CD went out, it just died out. I was really glad to hear after the game that he said he thinks he'll play next week, that that by the end of the night, he felt already better and had a little more strength in his ankle than when it happened. So we can always hope, and a week of scheming, whether we have him or don't, with Pickens as number one, I would say this, and I'll take this answer off air. I would kind of hope that the Cowboys learn from this. The next time we change schemes, I think we need to play in the preseason, not learn these lessons when the games count, Nick. And you can give your opinion on that, and I'll take that off air. Good to talk to you, brother.
All right. Thanks. You too. I mean, a lot of people don't want to see the injury to CD because he was playing running back, and that's very similar because that's not what he is, and it's very similar to, I think, seeing injuries in the preseason and all that. I'm just not going to go there about the preseason. I for a few reasons. Number one, you're not going to be tested the way you're going to be tested against in these games in the regular season. I mean, who's running the flea flicker in the preseason? So having them out there, maybe communicate. I mean, I'm sure that there are some benefits. I'm not saying there's no benefits, but I don't know if those benefits are worth the risk of we seeing injuries all through the league. We're seeing it with the Cowboys. You're seeing freak type of injuries here. I don't know. To me, it's just not worth it. Not worth it. I mean, you'd be absolute sick if you have that. So you're dealing with some of these things now, but you'd like to think you can fix these things as the season goes on. But if you get an injury in the preseason to a guy you're really counting on, I mean that could change your season before it even starts. So I don't see it. I don't know if I know other teams do it, but. Like I remember Cincinnati does it, right? Because Burrow was getting hit pretty hard there. Well, Burrow's hurt too right now. It's just kind of the luck of the draw. But personally, I'm not risking it. But I know you guys do. You guys say that, and that's fine. But it's gonna happen. Like we'll see somebody get hurt in the preseason, and then it'll be like, well, was it worth it? And so I changed my stance. And I used to be the other way around, mainly because I just wanted to watch good football. So I was like, man, I hope so and so plays tonight. Hope Romo plays. Hope Dak plays. Whatever. But once I saw Romo get crunched in Seattle there in that preseason game, that's what led Dak being on the field. I mean, right then and there, I was like, man, is it really worth it? So that's just my take on it. Erwin in Colorado is next.
Hey, Nick, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Doing okay, I guess.
Cool.
Yeah, so just a couple of things. Wow, I just don't understand what's going on with our defensive backs. It's a disaster. I don't know what they're going to do. I mean, there's maybe a safety out there, Simmons, I think, a good cover safety. I don't know if they're considering something like that. And the other thing I want to mention was, well, a couple things. I thought Schottenheimer said that they could scheme pressure when they don't have really good pass rush. They can scheme that. I mean, Caleb Williams looked like Tom Brady back there yesterday. I mean, he just it was incredible. And then the last thing I wanted to say was, the Devontae Williams kid that we have from Denver, from here, I don't for the first time, Schottenheimer kind of disappointed me in his play calling. I think it was like 4 minutes left in the game. Correct me if I'm wrong. But they passed twice in the end zone on the 1 yard.
One? Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not? You can blame Schottenheimer if you want there. That could be a Dak move. I mean, that's that hurry up type offense. That could be, but Schottenheimer needs to just say run the dang ball. Because
spread it out a little bit.
Run it.
The ball. But
Javonte was pissed after the fumble. You know what I mean? And he ran that way. I mean, he ran like I don't remember anybody tackling him. For less than a couple yards. So.
They need to.
He scores.
That running back, he's really good. I've watched him play. I don't really follow the Broncos at all, but I knew about him when we got him. I thought that was a great pickup, and I think Dallas really needs to sign this guy to another contract. I don't know. I think they signed him to a 1-year deal, But anyway, I don't know. Think about going out there and getting a cover safety because, our safeties look lost. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's terrible.
It is.
Well, thanks for taking my call, Nick. I appreciate it.
No, I appreciate it. I know everybody's frustrated today, and they should. And it's everything. I mean, when you just go down the list, you're like, what's wrong with the secondary? What's wrong with the pass rush? The linebackers even do anything? Let's put them in there. I mean, Pickens dropped the pass. CD was hurt and didn't come back. Why didn't he come back? Well, Javonte Williams, nice game, but he fumbled. Ferguson, 13 catches, but for what? 80 yards? I mean, he's not going anywhere. He's not doing anything. That's what they gave him. The Bears are like, sure, we'll give you Ferguson. Go ahead. Not going to give you anything deep, but dump it off all day long to Ferguson. Dump it off to whoever you want to. The running backs caught the ball too. The problem there is make somebody miss. I mean, that's what they're doing, and that's why teams are going to continue to do that. Because who on this offense, and that includes CD, Pickens, who on this offense are you like, all right, he'll break some tackles. Now, Javonte Williams, he runs hard. He'll break some tackles. He did a nice job with that. He probably has a good, number of, yards after contact and stuff like that. But, Miles Sanders, Tolbert, Turpin, I mean, they're good in their own way, but just putting the ball in their hands and letting them go create, that's where I think this team struggles. And I think defenses are going to continue to play kind of umbrella type defenses, put everything in front of them, and take their chances that they'll make the tackle. And that's kind of worked. All right. Isaac from Virginia is next. Isaac.
How you doing?
Good. How are you doing? First time call.
Yes, sir.
That's how it's supposed to be. Just like that. Isaac, how you doing, man? Good to hear from you.
Yes, sir. Doing all right. It's a misery Monday over here, but definitely went to the game and was very hopeful. Had my hopes high, and definitely thought that we can pull this one out heading into this weekend's big game, prime time Sunday night football against the Packers. But it's early in the season still, and even though it didn't look very good, and there's a lot to be corrected for sure. But I feel like this is the kind of game we needed. It's a gut check, and it's early in the season, and let's see how we respond. It's unfortunate that we lost it for sure. We looked like the 0-2 team going into this game against the Bears. And it wasn't them; it was us that looked like we were the worst team, and we played like that. But I think we can pull this game off. I'm hopeful that rally the troops there and on prime time, on the weekend's biggest stage, we can come through and make something happen. I mean, I'm sorry I had a lot to say, but I'm just nervous. First time caller.
All right.
I've been listening to you for a long time.
That's all right. All right.
But I'm just trying to be positive,
Well, good. I mean, we need some of that. Isaac, I appreciate the call. Misery Monday. That might just be the title of today's show. I mean, why not? I like it.
Yeah.
Coming in hot, contributing. I appreciate that, Isaac. And call us back for sure. I'm glad you're a part of the show.
Likewise. Thank you.
Yeah, and having some positive attitude. I mean, that's I'll say this: it's nice to have that. That's just kind of probably the type of person that you might be. There's going to be calls in here in the next 30 minutes or so that probably won't be the same way. Monday is for that. It's for being miserable about it, and that's part of the cycle. We're not there to get there, but I think what makes it worse is knowing what is next and knowing that emotional game that's going to happen. And yeah, okay. I mean, we found out two things yesterday. And when you think of the Packers Cowboys coming up on Sunday, what do we learn on this Sunday? We learned that the Cowboys aren't as good as we thought they were. I mean, sorry, not to be Denny Green here, but or whatever that line was, but we found out that they're not at that level. We also found out Green Bay isn't either. Green Bay is not at that level either. So, all that being said, it's going to be an interesting game. Now, are they going to have different motivation? Is their, pass rusher going to be at the highest level? Probably. But then again, it can work against them because, listen, Cowboys have their own issues. There's no doubt about it. We were in the press box. We were watching the game. It was crazy, wild when it comes to field goals and blocks and all this stuff all around the league. But I know that field goal that the Browns made, I don't know if it had an extra 5 yards. 5 yards is also the amount of an offsides penalty that Green Bay happened to get by their pass rusher number 1, who jumped off sides and in that final drive and gave them 5 extra yards, and they ended up kicking a field goal. So, all that being said, I think Green Bay game it's still winnable. They're all winnable games. It's also blowoutable, if that's a word. It's not, but it could be. That's a very blowoutable game for the Cowboys if they continue to let guys run past them and don't get any pass rush. So I think that's what makes today's game today's show kind of worse. It's just that, okay, you had to have that one. You know what's next, and you look like that. What's around the corner. Michael in Bowling Green, Kentucky is next.
Hey, man. The season is very fluid. My birthday's in mid-October. We could be a completely different team by then.
Yeah.
And you don't even really start worrying until after Thanksgiving. I saw some stuff in there that I think they can fix. Oh, by the way, flea flicker, touchdown. I hate it that it was the other way, but
well, it's always going to be the other way because, they're never going to run it here.
I know, but you've been talking about it, so when I saw it happen, I was like, dang it.
And it was a terrible flea flicker, okay, because that ball almost hit a cloud as they threw it up in the air like that. I was like, what's happening? But, I don't know. I got comments about the flea flicker in the first 2 touchdowns, but go ahead.
I got a quick question. It's not about the game. Your second year with the Cowboys, we got a hold of one of the biggest draft busts in NFL history, Ryan Leaf. And he played 4 games, had a touchdown, had some interceptions, left, and then came back. You got any stories on Ryan Leaf?
Not
that
really.
was all I had.
Okay, all right. No, the only story about Ryan Leaf is the very first start he ever had. It was against the Falcons in 2000, and I believe it was also Michael Vick's very first start on the other side for Atlanta. And I remember Joey Galloway going down the field and he was open, and Leaf threw this pass and was like, okay, this is going to be a touchdown. And the ball went 4 rows into the stands, like off to the side and up in the air. It was terrible. And Ryan Leaf was mad at himself and was just kind of hitting his hand on his hip pad. And it was like, okay, I've seen all the videos of when he was in San Diego, kind of hothead and all that. I'm like, man, this guy's going crazy. He's like, was he pissed off? He's just kind of beating himself up. And then after the game, he comes out, he was like, well, what happened? He said, well, my wrist popped out. That's why the ball went. My wrist popped out of its socket. I was just kind of hitting my wrist to get it back into the, it was like the second quarter. I played the rest of the game that way. Didn't play that well, if I remember correctly, or nobody did. But that's the only story I remember. It was just like, oh, okay, your wrist popped out. You popped it back in and went and played quarterback in the NFL. It's a different world for sure. All right, Josh in Chicago's next.
Hey, Nick, how you doing?
Good. How are you, Josh?
Misery loves company. Yeah, hopefully the City Beautiful is better than the game for you. But
it's good times.
Yeah, man. I just got two things to say. One, I think according to ChatGPT, at least I haven't gone back and watched anything, but it looks like Mozzie Smith didn't even play at all yesterday after being active. I don't know if that's accurate or not. AI can be a little different, but my problem with that is if he's not going to play at all, at least give Joe Paia some snaps, or in my eyes, like Clowney maybe isn't game ready 100%, but if he's there and can be active for 10 snaps that are passing downs, those third down plays, it would have been nice to have a pass rusher in there. I'm not saying he's got to play all game, but if you can find some way to work him into some snaps, it would be nice.
Yeah, he played. I don't know how many snaps, but he did play. There was nobody on the team who did not play.
That's what I thought. I saw him out there. So when I looked at ChatGPT, because I was like just trying to get a quick answer, I was like, I think that's wrong, because I thought I saw him out there for at least a handful of plays.
Yeah.
But the other thing I got is I don't know what's up with the defense. Is obviously a problem, especially the secondary. It looks like they don't understand the scheme, or everyone's pointing at each other when something goes completely somebody goes completely untouched. It's like corners and safeties are pointing at each other. They clearly don't understand it. But I don't know what's up with our tackles. I thought there was plays by both Guyton and Steele that were just awful. And, if Nate Thomas is ready, I might give him a look this week because, we obviously have a number one coming to town that's going to be out for some blood. So I might look at Nate Thomas in there for a little bit.
Wow.
But that's just me.
Yeah, it might just be you. Okay,
yeah.
I'm sorry. I don't know about that. That one I think is on all you. Now, somebody else might have a different opinion, but Micah Parsons around the corner. No, I'm not going with Nate Thomas there.
Yeah, it's good to hear that because I don't know. I thought Guyton looked a mess yesterday, and I don't know what the breakdown is or the ranking yet, but I thought he looked a mess, and I thought Steele hasn't looked like himself.
I'll have to go back and look. I'll have to go back and watch the game. I felt like there were times I just didn't I just didn't get that feeling that the offensive line was just terrible. I didn't get that feeling yet. But I know there were some breakdowns. I mean, there was some sack. I thought the third quarter sack when they were driving right before the half. I mean, that was huge. That was a huge play. And they didn't get the ball back until the end of the quarter, and that was mainly because the Bears just chewed up 10 minutes of the clock. But anyway.
And your article is right on point about some of the timeouts there, too,
let's talk about that.
Management,
let's talk about that, too. All right, Josh.
Have a good day.
Thank you for the call. Appreciate that. Let's go to a break here on Cowboys Storyline. I'll come back. I'll talk about that little sequence there right before the half. All right. Be right back after this.
Cowboys fans, when it comes to navigating the ever-changing world of tax, your business needs a partner it can trust to tackle even your biggest tax challenges. Ryan is the largest firm in the world dedicated exclusively to business taxes. Our team of tax professionals has local expertise in all areas of tax and can help you uncover savings opportunities you didn't know you had. Learn more about how Ryan can improve your overall corporate tax performance by visiting Ryan.com. Ryan, the official tax partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Crown Royal and the Dallas Cowboys are bringing back the Royal Rig for Season 2. See it in action at AT&T Stadium on Thanksgiving Day, where the Dallas Cowboys take on the Kansas City Chiefs, and around Dallas on November 26th and November 28th. Visit crownroyal.com to see where else the Royal Rig is stopping this NFL season. That's crownroyal.com. Please drink responsibly.
Altec Lansing has been perfecting sound since 1927, bringing you decades of audio excellence to elevate your Dallas Cowboys tailgate ritual. Equip your next pregame with the Sound Rover 180 with 6 hours of playtime, built-in microphone, multicolor light modes, and a rugged exterior that's built to last. Visit alteclansing.com/Cowboys15 for 15% off your Sound Rover 180. That's ALTECLANSING.com/Cowboys15 for 15% off. Altec Lansing, official audio partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Back to Cowboys Storyline, presented by Gillette, the official shave of the Dallas Cowboys.
There are limited tickets still available for the Dallas Cowboys home games. You can go to SeatGeek.com, the official primary ticketing partner of the Dallas Cowboys. All right. Let me go to Travis in San Antonio next here. Travis, what's up?
Hey, Nick, what's going on?
Good. How are you?
Pretty good. I guess I just wanted to say I looked it up last night because I'm sure it's all I could do. I'm sure a lot of people were just looking up stuff just because I was curious. But I guess this year we've given up 92 points in 3 games, and the only one worse than that was Mike Nolan, who gave up 97 in 3 games. So one more touchdown, we could have set a new record. Not the record you want to set, but I know everyone's talking about the Micah thing. I did read your article as well, Nick. It was a great article. The only thing I'm not saying that no disagreement that the pass rush hasn't been what we thought it was going to be, but I don't know if Micah helps, but I don't even know if he helps to the extent of how bad, when guys are running wide open, like as long as you take care of him as an opposing team, you double and triple him. Nobody else is winning their one-on-ones anyways. So I don't know how much, I think he helps, but to the extent right now, I'm not sure. It looked like later in the game, maybe late fourth quarter, finally they maybe got Wani in and maybe benched Dono. But, Dono playing in space just can't do it. And they're not playing to Diggs' strength when he's playing zone. So I don't know how many more games it takes to watch it and make a change, but I'll be really curious. Yet again this week, it's about the only thing I'm curious about is to see when he, Eberflus makes some changes, and hopefully that comes this week and they shuffle some things up, but we'll see. Other than that, you guys have a great week and a great show. Talk to you later.
Thanks, Travis. I think that, again, this isn't like excuses or anything. This is just facts. I mean, I think Deron Bland will help. I mean, there's no doubt about it. I mean, if he doesn't help, then you paid the wrong guy. And I think he will help. And so that's part of it there. It'd be nice to have him back. We saw it in the first game against the Eagles. I thought, the coverage was better. Now they have their own issues there, but the coverage is better. I wanted to talk about one of the previous caller, I guess, Josh was talking about the end of the half. That I didn't understand that right there, and time management, and it's always that no man's land when the ball's about midfield and it's minute and a half to go. It's one of those things like, what are we doing? And both sides are kind of the same way. Like, are we trying to get the ball back, or are we trying to make sure you don't score? And so it happens in every game, really, like college, pro, maybe even high school. It happens where there's that point where you're starting to figure out what are we doing here. I'm not trying to call timeouts to help you, but at the same time, if you're going to score, then I want to call my timeout so I can get the ball back. I mean, so that was kind of happening. I thought it was interesting that Schottenheimer called the timeout with a minute and a half to go on second after a 4-yard gain. So 2nd and 6 isn't necessarily like, oh, we're going to stop them. And then they call a timeout, and then they give up a 3rd down play. But then on the next play, they don't call a timeout. So now it goes down to 40 seconds. Then the Bears get down to 30 after a play down to the 10-yard line. And, Schottenheimer's running on the field calling timeouts with 30 seconds to go. Let the Bears do that. Let the Bears call the timeout. Because they're going to run down there and do what they're going to do. And if they're not going to call a timeout, then you probably got to stop them for 1, maybe 2 plays, and they'll kick a field goal. But they called their last timeout with 30 seconds to go. The Bears scored, but Dallas gets it back and they have no timeout, and they're not going to do anything. I thought that was a really weird set of calls there, and it was huge. To go down by 10 right before the half was big. And then the play that happened, I don't understand. I understand why safeties let guys go because they got somebody behind them or whatever, or any corner. But in that play, I don't know what Donovan Wilson was doing, because who are you passing him off to? Like, you're the guy. Like, you're the last line of defense. I'm watching the play right now. I just still don't understand. Like, I don't understand where you're like, okay, you can go by me because I got the flat. Well, that's a touchdown. All right, Lewis in Langston, Oklahoma.
Yeah, you kind of sound like me watching the whole game yesterday.
I don't get it. I don't. The first touchdown, okay, he went for the jam. Diggs went for the jam, and he slips.
Right.
Touchdown.
And he slips.
And then there's
I'm not mad at that.
Yeah, and then there's a flea flicker again. I think it's a great play. It happens all the time. I mean, you know what I mean? After that, you're thinking, okay. But the next 2 touchdowns where DJ Moore was sitting there, had a cell phone, ordered a pizza, got the pizza.
Yeah, I don't know who he was looking. Who was supposed to be his man, because I have no clue who was supposed to be there. Because what's his name? The safety Hooker is running. I don't know where he was running to. There was nobody there where he was running. So I was confused on the assignment alignment. And I was just talking to a guy at my job about it. I said, I feel like when you watch them, they have no clue what's going on. You got linebackers running into space, and I know they're supposed to be zone, but they're running into spaces where there's nothing there. You have safeties looking in the backfield while people are running by them. I'm not calling for Eberflus's job or anything like that. I just need them to try to figure out what's going on. Like, how can you fix an issue when it looks like everybody is confused? And then it's like you're getting no pass rush whatsoever. I mean, I know they said Jadeveon Clowney probably wasn't ready to play, but please put him on the field. I mean, maybe he might get one pet pressure. I felt like the D ends were running right into the tackles and just stopping. And I know those tackles aren't that good, but it feels like they were just running into the tackles and just stopping. And then I'm not even going to talk about the offense too much because I know a lot of it predicates off of CD. But, hey, figure it out. Figure something out. I mean, if George Pickens is going to be your number one option, fine. I mean, but throw him the ball. I love Tolbert. Quit the Tolbert thing. Just throw it to – if CD's not in the game, throw it to Pickens. And if Pickens ain't in the game, throw it to Ferguson. But the little 5-yard dump-off, like, they didn't run Ferguson down to the – like, they didn't run a seam at all. He was 5 yards or 2 yards or 3 yards away from the line of scrimmage. And I had no clue what the hell was going on with that. And so I'm probably about as lost as everybody else that's been calling.
All right,
I'll talk to you later.
All right, appreciate it. I mean, be careful when you say just throw the Pickens. Just throw it to Pickens. I mean, he's got to get a new helmet because I think he broke one because he dropped one. He dropped the pass that, here we are again playing volleyball. I mean, it was a nice set because that's what happened. Now Pickens had an unbelievable touchdown catch. I mean, that was pretty cool, but they all do, right? I mean, that's what I said earlier. Everybody had but everybody on offense. Great game for Ferguson, was it? I mean, 13 catches, but, I mean, it was almost like 13 carries. Seriously, if you had 13 carries for 86 yards, I mean, that's a really good day. But it was almost like what it was. I'm watching this flea flicker now. It's the worst-looking flea flicker except for the touchdown part. Again, I'm running it once a game. I don't have the hate for Tolbert like everyone else does for some reason. I saw it on Twitter that he's the reason that Javonte fumbled because he didn't block his guy. He did block the guy, blocked him out of bounds. And then the guy went and made the play. I mean, Javonte's got to hang on to the ball. I mean, he obviously is not thinking someone's coming from that side, but it happened. But I thought Tolbert did a nice job there. But 2-point catch, whatever. He Tolbert's fine to me for what he is. But this team's got a lot of problems. We know this. Troy and Amarillo's next.
Hey, Nick, thanks for taking my call. I was kind of just think when you said that now about Tolbert, and stuff, I mean, he really basically is what he is. You're absolutely right. Everybody always hates on him and stuff like that, but I mean, he's like your third or fourth guy, that's what he is basically. You really shouldn't expect a ton from the guy, but I was kind of more talking about the defense, and I was looking at, just some of the sets you watch. We play a lot of this cover too, I guess. I'm not going to act like I know everything, but I'm just saying it seems like they can't adapt to situations and stuff like that, and they can't come out of their breaks fast enough. To me, it looks like, I don't know, and they don't carry guys. It's like if they're going to pass somebody off, there better be somebody there. Like they passed, I remember 20, he passed a guy off yesterday, and there was nobody behind him. I mean, he just went scot-free down the sideline, and I'm like, I mean, that can't happen. Those are just major, major blunders that, you can't make up. especially when you're trailing and you're trying to find your way. I don't know. To me, Nick, I mean, you may have something to say about it, but this whole defense has kind of like that Mike Nolan vibe to me. but that's just me. I don't know. Maybe they can clean things up and stuff. But anyways, I'll let you respond to that. I appreciate it, Nick. Thanks, man.
Thanks, Troy. I appreciate that call. And that's about the third reference to the 2020 season that I've seen and heard so far. So that's not good, by the way. That's pretty bad. He got fired mid-season or later in the year. But it does have those kind of vibes. And, when you look at the schedule and you look at the teams you're going to face and, Jalen Hurts, Russell Wilson, Caleb Williams, Jordan Love's coming up next. Justin Fields, I believe, is healthy or going to be the quarterback there. Bryce Young, they had a big win at home against the Falcons, shut them out. So those next 3 games look challenging for sure. I've said it a lot. I don't think I've said it this year yet, but this seems like the first time to really bring it up. But with the bus that you're talking about, passing guys off, it looks like you're playing zone, you're playing man, and that goes down to losing the game on Wednesday, losing it on Thursday, losing it in the team meeting room, not watching enough film, not understanding what you're watching out there, not understanding what's going on in practice. That's what it looks like because you get out there in the games and you give up these kind of plays in the game. They don't look prepared, and look at what's happening in the first half of games. Okay, first half of the game against the Eagles, they scored every possession, and I believe they got 21 points. I think they had 3 long possessions, and they scored 21. Last week with the Giants, I think they may have had 10 points, maybe 13. And then this week, Chicago gets 24. So right out of the bat, these teams are coming out and they're hitting the Cowboys in the mouth, and they're really not responding. So that's kind of been the issue. Chris in Saratoga Springs is next.
Hey, Nick.
Hey.
Just a little embarrassed after that game, to be honest. That's very discouraging. Defense looks terrible. I remember when Jerry when he traded Micah, was talking about how we got to manufacture pressure. I don't see any of that. 4-man rush every single time, really not blitzing any corners, not making any adjustments on defense. It's just embarrassing. I think the offense will be fine. Couple drops, crucial turnover by Javonte hurt us. That changed the momentum really right off the bat of the game.
Yeah.
The only positive that I could see out of that game that I pulled out of it was Sam Ford. That cat is unbelievable. The blocking that kid does, he should be the second tight end for sure on our team. He's when I watch him, he's just unbelievable. And that's really the only positive I really got out of that game. Very discouraged on that defense. Eberflus has to do a better job before the game, like during the week, game planning, and even during the game with adjustments. Because it's obviously if we're not getting pressure on with 4 guys, we have to do something different because we don't have the cornerbacks right now with all these injuries to be able to cover like we did in previous years. So we need to manufacture pressure, and that means rushing 5, 6 guys on that line of scrimmage, not 4. But that's really all I got. Just very discouraged. I went up and watched it with my dad when my 11-year-old son drove up north, and all 3 of us were just very, very bummed out after the game.
Yeah. Yeah, and you should be. That was a pretty awesome win in week 2, and it's the nature of the NFL. It's what happens. You come back and you have a crazy loss. Thanks for the call, Chris. I agree with you 100%. That's what I've been preaching here. That's where I think this whole thing starts. It's the pressure, and you saw it in the Philadelphia game in week 1. They weren't getting there. Come out of the third quarter, Diggs on a corner blitz, Bland on a corner blitz. You've got to give these looks. You've got to give these quarterbacks looks they haven't seen, one way or another. So rush from come up with 9 different variations of a blitz in the week and use them all. Sanborn here, Sanborn over the middle, Kenneth Murray this time safety here, fake the blitz. Come on, you've got to change things. Show 7 and drop 3. Sometimes you bring all. I mean, it's got to be different. Okay, you can't have a tell, and that. I mean, I'm not saying we're playing poker here, but you can't have. There's too much analytics out there for them to say, like, all right, this is what the Cowboys do here. This is what they like to do here. You got to mix it up all the time, and that we're not seeing enough of that. I mean, that's what against the Packers, Jordan Love's got to see 12 different looks he hasn't seen before, and that's not easy to do. It's easy to say that, but it's not easy to do because you got to practice it. You got to get these guys to understand what you're doing. But when it comes to blitz, they have to throw a lot more out there. Let's take one more break real quick on Storyline. Be right back.
All right, Cowboys fans, this one's for you. Gillette's Best Shave has a new look this season, and they've got one that sticked out in Cowboys colors just for us. We're going to want to run, not walk to this one, y'all. The new Gillette Labs official Dallas Cowboys licensed razor isn't just Gillette's best shave. With 50% longer lasting blades than Fusion, it's the best a Cowboys fan can get. Get it while you can at Gillette.com/NFL. Gillette's Best Shave is also available as heated.
Discover Aiden, the official luggage partner of the Dallas Cowboys and Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Known for top-tier engineering and craftsmanship, Aiden offers more than just bags. Originating from Australia and designed in New York, it merges fashion, design, and culture. Used by Dallas Cowboys players, staff, and the entire organization, Aiden provides style and functionality for all travelers. Visit AidenTheBrand.com and use code AidenXCowboys for 25% off your purchase. Travel like your favorite stars with Aiden.
Back to Cowboys Storyline, presented by Gillette, the official shave of the Dallas Cowboys.
What a day to join the official fan club, but you can do it. It's called Globe Life. I'm sorry, Dallas Cowboys United, presented by Globe Life. Exclusive experiences and more. Download the app now to join. Let's see how many downloads they get today on that one. You guys are frustrated. Don't blame you. Eric in Utah, first-time caller, though. Good to hear from you. Eric?
Hey, thanks for taking my call. First-time caller. I've been a long time listener.
There we go.
Back when, I think you were on the break with David Hellman. Miss him. I've had a couple of my questions answered on the mailbag, but first-time caller. Hey, two things I wanted to just maybe mention is, do you personally think this is the issue with our defense right now is because of a lack of them being able to know what they're supposed to do, or versus, we have the wrong players in the wrong scheme type of deal where we're not, you've got a in-the-box safety trying to cover with Donovan Wilson. So is it we have the wrong personnel, or we just don't have the right, we spent too much time in playing ping pong and not enough time in the playbook? The second thing I'd like to maybe see is moving forward from this with our defense being suspect as they are, do you see a way forward of us just maybe limiting how much the other opposing offenses have by running the ball, using Javonte Williams? He's been really a surprise for me, really great this year. And maybe just running the ball more and keeping the ball, keeping our defense off the field. And maybe just address those two things or whatever you feel.
Right.
Thanks.
All right, Eric, thanks for the call. I'm glad you were able to make it in. I mean, you might be right there with that second point. That sucks when it sucks during the season when that's what it is. Like when you're like, all right, we got to run the ball, we got to keep them off the field, but that's the reality. I mean, I'm not saying it's not. It's just it sucks with your offense the way it is, and you want this high-powered offense, which some weeks is having big weeks, and it's kind of back and forth a little bit. I don't know if it's just a run and keep the ball but that's what the Bears did. That's kind of but the Bears mixed it up. I mean, they had a couple of big plays, and then when it was time to them to crank off a 19-play drive, I wish I was exaggerating. 19-play drive when they need to keep the ball. I mean, they had 4 third downs and 1 fourth down conversion for the touchdown. I mean, that's as back-breaking as you can possibly get. And then you asked about why. I mean, I've said it several times. I mean, yes, I know all about the coverage and the miscommunication and all that, but I said this on the air on the radio this morning on 105.3 The Fan, and I believe this. Darren Woodson and Deion Sanders aren't going to have the greatest communication if they're back there for 9 seconds. They're not going to get it covered. It doesn't matter who. So they've got to eliminate. I think the last caller, was it Chris in Saratoga Springs or Troy from Amarillo? One of y'all, like, it's got to be the rush. It's got to be. You've got to figure that out. I don't think you're going to figure this out on the back end, but you got to make sure. I'm saying I don't think you're going to figure it out just overnight. I think that they can do some things in terms of the secondary, but I think they've got to figure out a way to get these guys home. All right, Rob in Vegas is last, and he's next, and he's in a great mood.
Hey, Nick.
Hey, Rob.
Unfortunately, it was another turn the channel game. There's been a lot of them lately. Let's face it.
To what? Turning it to what?
I shut it off.
Okay.
I did something else.
All right.
But ever since the Packer loss in the playoffs, this team's been in no man's land. They punted the next season, didn't really do much. And then, we're talking about Matt Eberflus, but you traded in his Ferrari for broken down Hyundais as pass rushers. And let's face it, there's maybe 4 guys on defense that would start on any other team. So I really don't know. They can't fix it because it's not a scheme thing as much. We don't have any players. You need players. I don't care who the coach is. You need players. You look at the defense, and who stands out? Sam Williams has as many rush moves as me. He just runs right into the guy. The rookie Donovan I thought played better. Kenny Clark, let's face it, he's there to stop the run. And let's not even talk about Diggs. Once he made one tackle, he was finished. So it's like, what are you going to ask this guy to do? You took away the most disruptive defensive player in the league. And we've seen this in the past. Last year, when Michael wasn't on the field, this defense was horrible. So, as fans, we always hope for the best. Oh, when we trade him, we're going to take those picks and we're going to be better. Maybe years from now, but you know what you're not going to have? A quarterback. I thought Dak played I think Dak's playing very good this year. Unfortunately, it's a result-oriented business, and we're not getting the results. We're not getting the points.
Yeah.
I thought they would have scored more. We got a running back now. I agree with the caller. He's only 25 years old. The kid looks really good. You got 2 wide receivers. You had everything going into the season. We knew what the problem was. It was all on the defense. You got an offensive line. The left tackle we still think is iffy, but everybody else looks good. Even Steele, I think, is playing okay. He didn't have the best game, but he's still solid. We all knew the issue was on the defense. They really didn't do anything to address it that would make a difference. They just brought in bodies, and then, like I said, you get rid of the best guy. This is what's going to happen, and I just don't see us pulling out of this. We're probably a 6-win team if we're lucky, and I don't know if Dak should call in sick next week, but he's going to get hammered. Listen, I don't think the Packers are the best team in the league, but the one thing they could do is they could get after a quarterback, and they get it from the edges. And Dak is. I hope Dak is okay after next week's game.
All right, Rob. I appreciate it. Thanks for the call. Dak might do a lot of things. He's not calling in sick. You know that, and that's why he's the quarterback. And he's some people are going to be afraid. He won't be. And that may and we'll see what happens. But they lost to the Browns at home. They scored 10 points against the Browns. So again, we've seen teams with the Bears look terrible in week 2, and then now look at them. So I mean, I'm not trying to say they're not any good or they'll play bad against the Cowboys. I'm just saying if you do what you're supposed to do, this could be a winnable game, but it could it can get as ugly as what we saw Sunday as well. All right. That'll do it. Good show, guys. Appreciate the calls. I know it's tough. So, these are the ones that you kind of dread a little bit, because you just don't know what you're going to get. But you guys are respectful. You show your frustration, but you do it in a classy way, and I definitely appreciate that. Let's do it again tomorrow. Let's talk about what went wrong again last week and how it can get fixed and how it can get cleaned up and what they've got in front of them. All right, for Chris Beam, I'm Nick Eatman. See you tomorrow on Cowboy Storyline.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys?